Hello, and welcome back. All the same. Hope you folks are well.
Turn complete.
Alright, so what's going on in the world real quick? The United States, some of you may caught the D in the corner, just passed, the U.S. House just passed an unspeakably horrific budget that's going to slash programs like Medicaid, food stamps. With Medicaid, for instance, they're going to add a work requirement, but the way it's going to be implemented, and 2 states have experimented with this before, well, it's going to be a bullshit excuse to kick millions off who are too sick to work or who are working and filling the requirement, but due to the bureaucracy. States have done this before, have done things, for instance, where they require documentation of work within the last 3 months, but then they take 4 months to process the paperwork people submit, and then they say the document's too old and reject them. There's also already bullshit. This has already existed with screwing people over at disability determination. So I have no doubt, even though I'm clearly too sick to work with my long COVID, that the bastards in the state agency, they're probably fuck me, claim that I'm not sick. Maybe if I really had a ton of energy, I could just spend all my time like getting extra testing to show all my long COVID illnesses and stuff. But I'm too. The very nature of this illness is that I'm tired all the time. I'm too tired to fight them tooth and nail, and it wouldn't have a high chance of success even if I did. Um, this is the beginnings of fascism, really. I mean, a budget that's this far may not seem like it, and in itself it isn't. But you cannot sustain a budget this bad without fascism. There will be too much public dissent. There will be protests. Millions will march. People get very, very angry when they see how this actually affects people. By the point the budget will already be well underway, it'll be like 2026, and it'll really be hurting people. And the result will be military and police crackdowns that will result in dictatorship. This is how these processes go. It might take a few years, but the United States is doomed. This budget is worse than what they were talking about a couple of weeks ago. They raised them like might survive with what they're talking about, but then they pass something even worse than what they were talking about. This is too far. Like in this game, if you get a lot of drones in a base, you have to run a lot of police. For most factions, you can't do as peacekeepers. You end up having to run police state to have high enough police rating in order to be able to run enough police. Police states use oppression to keep their citizens in line, and allow their leaders great power over military decisions. But oppression of this type also decreases economic efficiency. +2 police, which is how many units you can use to police bases. It's worth noting you can always do a little in this game. Like right now, you can use 1 military unit as police in a base, reducing the number of drones in a base by 1 if I have like a scout patrol or something stationed there. Yeah, so I need this YouTube channel to grow to the point I can monetize and make money. So let me entertain you folks, I guess, or try, because with my long COVID, it's tough. I can't think clearly enough. I've never been the best person to do YouTube, but it's my only hope of, well, surviving. And I do have interesting things to say about politics, at least. And I've played this game a lot. Although I was looking up strategies and stuff, trying to get better. You know, the better I am at this game, I figure the more entertaining it can be for you guys, or at least the less effort I have to put into a certain level of play, and the more I can focus on entertaining you guys while playing at a certain level. So, and there's way more to the stuff people discuss the strategy. Some of the strategies are just wrong. I mean, I'd say I'm already a fairly advanced player of this. My strategic understanding, even if I make a lot of mistakes because of my long COVID, but there's always room for improvement. And some of you may disagree with that, but you know, people get obsessed with alpha strategies. I will tell you, because I saw a discussion of this, and I guess it's important to a lot of people to realize what I'm doing. I am, as well, pursuing a hybrid strategy. So there are, in Forex games, there are builder strategies, momentum strategies, also known as conquer strategies, and they're hybrid. Hybrid strategies balance economic and military force. They'll attack weak neighbors, but strong ones like the Spartans, they'll just focus on keeping at bay. weakening them with raids into their territory. Like, I'd like to send some rovers and destroy some improvements, pick off some formers, so I can eventually gain enough of an economic advantage on the Spartans that I can take their bases. Because they will outbuild me, which is exceptionally rare for the Spartans, but starting in the monsoon jungle. Excuse me. And the higher difficulties for human, this is librarian, it's like the lower difficulties for the AI. Like, they have +1 to growth, for instance, at this level. And they also, apparently, um, I don't know if this doesn't kick until Thinker, but I might be a librarian where they can actually get a nutrient cap of 3 instead of 2, just like human players get the lowest difficulties. Uh, so that might be why they're growing so fast, is they might be able to produce 3 nutrients everywhere, and, you know, nutrient resources are completely uncapped. If that's the case, there's no, which I guess I'll see the first time I infiltrate a base with a probe team. I don't know if it works. I've never used pro teams much this game, and that's one of the areas I am inexperienced and bad at. So I don't know. My strategic understanding is about a high level, but my practice is not as much. If they can do 3 nutrients per tile, there's not a prayer that I can keep up in an armed economic like a Cold War. I need to attack them before they become too powerful, which means a heavy focus. And Wall is good at this, at a hybrid strategy. Even I was reading a strategy guide, Marazzi's or something. He's one of the guys everyone looks to, but I could see some real mistakes in his strategic thinking. But he is right that Wall, and I've played Wall a ton, is a very balanced faction. The Peacekeepers are leader faction. Not the best builder in the game, and not one of the really dedicated conquerors like the Spartans, or to a certain degree the Hive or the Believers for sure. The Spartans and Believers are the 2 factions really good at fighting. Wall is not, but he doesn't have any particular disadvantages at fighting, and he's able to keep up wars well enough, especially when not running democracy causes support issues that don't immediately translate to military. Free market, if I was running it, would give police very low police rating. Very lowest police ratings, no, I can't run police, but you'll get pacifism drones. But yeah, when just running, say, planned economics and simple politics, Wall can be a decent conquer. If need necessitates it, or a raider. I don't expect I can necessarily overrun the Spartans, though I will try and when I get non-linear mathematics, I'm going to do an impact rover. I'm going to pioneer that because the extra morale rating, I want to invest it in a rover, which is a little better than the infantry but costs more. Probably here we'll have a command center. And then maybe I'll upgrade my scout rover if it's got some experience, and some of my other most experienced recon rovers to impact rovers with energy. And then other than that, I'm going to train lots of impact infantry because there are 2 rows, whereas impact rovers are 3, if I remember correctly. So I can do 3 impact infantry for the cost of 2 rovers, excluding the higher support costs of more units. So I should also note here at World Health Organization, some of you are probably looking at, my brain skipped a beat here. I'm digging a borehole. I haven't lifted any of the caps, nutrient, mineral, or energy caps. So this is just 2 minerals, 2 energy. It's not super worth the huge number of turns it takes to dig a borehole. Oh. Sorry about that. Give me a sec, guys. Alright, I might have some issues with power here. So thermal borehole will still give 2 minerals, 2 energy, which is the best yields. The only other way to get that is a forest on a river for me right now. And yeah, I've only got 2 of those. So we could drill to another aquifer and plant forest, I suppose. But yeah, I'll get 5 minerals for clearing that forest. I checked, it said that was like 15, it's only 5. Maybe it's 5 in the highest difficulty and people were just, um, which I guess will go into the next recon rover. Um, and, God, this stupid power outage is gonna, I'm not gonna be able to record for long. 5. But anyways, the condenser will eventually get overgrown by forest again. Then I'll allow a 222 tile, which is the most I can produce any tile without more tech. And the borehole will allow 2 energy, 2 minerals. I have no need for more nutrients past 14 because, or 15 if I want to fill up the nutrient cap because the space can't grow beyond size 7. So with 5 workers, they're producing 13. Even just 2 more forests, they get that. And I believe I saw something, I couldn't remember if condensers lift the nutrient cap, so I might be able to produce 3 nutrients, 1 energy, where I do the condenser until the forest overgrows again. The point being, shouldn't need the nutrients, but all these work returns form returns for essentially just 1 extra energy versus a forest there. It's a very marginal improvement. Of course, it's a bunch of turns here, 12 in fact, to get 1 extra mineral, which is a little better than 16, I think, for 1 energy. Um, except for the fact that 5 probably yields the space might be where I have a network node, so it's a little better than otherwise. We'll see. It's also splitting those river forest tiles with the headquarters is a thing that needs to be noted, which after 4 pops it'll run 5, 6. Yeah, it'll might not be perfect. Something I've kind of already committed to though, and for what it's worth, these formers are much safer here than here where they could get hit by mine worms. Alright, I seem to be doing surprisingly okay with power levels. I hope this isn't some America's going. I always worry at some point the power grid's going to be going out because, the country's going to martial law or something, and they're trying to cut off people's ability to communicate. Obviously it hasn't happened yet, but the fact that thoughts even crossed my mind says where I'm thinking, things are going to go in this country someday. Could be good, I suppose, if it's the military trying to prevent this fascist takeover, but more likely it would be the actual, Trump crowd seizing power more directly. Let's see. 3 turns and I can rush this. I shouldn't even do it that soon. Oh. Got rovers here. And here, recon rovers. That are just keeping my worms from spawning where they can attack my formers or any of my formers, the 2 stacks of 2. This scout patrol is just going to keep on going to the monolith he's just passing through. Yeah, I'd have to pull this off of here and go there. It's probably worth it if I hadn't already committed to. If I pulled one of the formers off, I think one of them just arrived, so that would be 15 turns left. Hmm. Oh, it's saying 12? Interesting. 12 turns to go? What was it before? 7? Which probably meant 2 that had 6 to go. I get, Alright, I'm just gonna actually...
Turn
I need
complete.
to take a bigger risk, so I'm gonna risk doing the farm mine here. Yeah, it's 3, 6. It's actually even
Turn
less.
complete.
At least this farmer prevents any wasted. That means there was 11 farm returns of effort to go, I think. And former somewhere. One that's facing upper left. So one that's not. Yeah, thermal borehole 16 turns. Okay, I thought so. I thought. I just wanted to double check.
Turn complete.
Or 15 turns of work. Yeah, it's still more efficient here to do 9 and get the stupid mineral. But I won't stack 2 formers there, I guess, because I already started on this. Screw that up. It's not that the borehole's not a benefit. It's could even get an eco damage here earlier, which I'll want. It'll advance the story. I'm not going to ruin it for you guys too much what happens. But monitoring agency grows in 3 turns.
Request confirmation.
Planetary trust in 3. World Food Program also in 3. World Health Organization grows. As does Forest Agency. Okay, I'll check on those 2 bases next turn. Make sure, yep, they are working things intelligently. Not some dumb choosing the wrong tiles. Yeah, that's even probably the one I want to work. Because I think not 2 minerals and an energy instead of 2 nutrients. Depends when I go to war with the Spartans. Yeah, no, I probably want that. Alright, well, because after 20 turns, if you actually do recon rovers 20 turns, no matter how many minerals you had, you'll convert all of them into units. Like you will have unit support. If you have 1 mineral, for instance, say 20 turns, then you'll have everything in support. If you have 2 minerals, you get 2 rovers done in that time. The first one will take 10 and the second 20, so 30 turns. Actually, no, I guess not there. But yeah, if you run long enough, I might actually convert. Yeah, I'm gonna try and be converting all the surplus minerals into unit support by the time I go to war with the Spartans, probably. We'll see if that works. But the nutrients, getting them done soon. 7 rows to grow? Really? 50? You know what? No. No, I don't want to be working the condenser tile when the forest is gone. Do not, for sure. Oh. Someone's got to do it. UNHQ can do it, actually. They're smaller, so they'll use they're going to do this. Alright. Sorry. Not top of everything. Now it's kind of dark here. Because, you know, the lights are out. Because, yeah, this is one of the signs you can tell the United States is collapsing in itself. We don't even have reliable power grid. More and more outages every year. As I say, this unit should try and go there, and if it fails, should cancel movement and then go this one next turn. This is looking at pathing stuff. Yep, so that scout patrol is now disciplined. Less likely to die versus mine worms.
Request confirmation.
I'm putting opportunistically energy credits into military units.
Confirmation.
Mostly. 3 former turns for 3 energy. Yeah.
Request confirmation.
If it gets the, I should do that. Because if I put a farm in this river tile, that'll give me 1 extra energy. I can get 3 turns sooner that way. Probably do that. Have the former do another farm here, and go and work these things. So the extreme ends of the river, which are furthest from the fungus here, we'll get farms. Maybe I just put a plane condenser here. Yeah, and put a forest here, and eventually it'll spread in. Whereas these would be farms. If I can exceed the nutrient cap, which you'll see here first, then maybe farm condensers. But yeah, forest condensers are really nice. Some people are like, force only. No, usually not. But if you can get a forest condenser before you lift caps on stuff, it's better than, it's the best yields you can get. It creates a considerable amount of eco damage, which is actually a good thing if you want to get those fungal pops early. You can even harvest the mine worms for energy if you're prepared with enough military units. Alright. Now it was Sentry, right? Yep. Let's see. Here are Ocean Institute. Did I not?
Request confirmation.
28 for 11. 6 to... I'll base there. 3 food. 2 minerals and an energy. For 2. So 2, yeah, it's worth it at this point. It's extra 6 energy for an extra 6 nutrients. And then I'll get the base yields earlier at Oceans too. Because they can work this tile. And that's already 1 nutrient, 1 mineral. And it'll be more as I improve the tile. Get started on that, where I'm going to put a farm. Could do a condenser and let it be overgrown. That would actually be the best yields in the long run. Hmm. Rolling moist. Yeah, probably do a farm condenser. Um, might even if the condenser doesn't increase nutrient yield beyond 2, it'll improve rainfall here, where I can do a farm mine. To dig it out from under the fungus. Righty then. Let's put this unit here.
Terraform complete.
So if this is tapped by mine worm, it can attack whatever attacked it. If I put it back in the base, it could collateral damage the garrison, which I probably don't want. All right. Suppose I could have put the disciplined unit there in the base, had the hardened one move out to prepare to defend the colony pod. Anyhow. Building a mine. Farm mine, extra minerals. Planetary trust. Let's check. Coring's fine. Power levels are 63%.
May look up to you.
I haven't drained the battery for any reason in a very long time, so I don't know if it's good for battery health or not. Some people say you should periodically let batteries actually get used. I'm not sure that's anything but an urban myth, but what is for certain is that I can record this game because it's an old game. It's not. It doesn't use my graphics card. It just uses the internal GPU, which is dramatically more energy efficient than the dedicated graphics card. Graphics cards use more electricity in exchange for much higher performance. Yeah, I can go for a while on battery power here, so probably get a full video, and then even with OBS running, which I'm surprised I thought OBS would take a ton of power. I used to use Windows Game Bar, and it took massive amounts of battery power, but I guess OBS is more efficient. Let's see. One thing's really bothering me is I can't see great. The light is gone. If I was going to choose a base, I'd rather lose a rover. It's probably Silver Rights instead of HQ. Minerals into a facility, it's cheaper to replace with just extra energy. And there's no rush on that commons as long as it's done. Then to 4 turns, which should have plenty of energy for. 3 more turns. It's already got 6, 15 in 25. I'll need 50 energy then. Maybe I'm closer than I like to admit. 15 a year. Yeah, I'm fine. I'll have 58 energy when I need 50. Command center, I may not rush at all even. Well,
Insufficient energy.
yeah, 52 for 26. It's 2 energy per mineral. Uh, hmm. If I could find some worms, it wouldn't be terrible. Hmm. Just hoping I'd find someone pop there. Oh, nope. That rover gets attacked, I suppose. Not the end of the world either. See, I'm doing a little worm trawling. That fungus for energy credits. So I'm doing the facilities. Getting them done with more energy. I do suppose adds up to minerals in the military units. Hmm. Give me one sec, guys. Sorry, just opening a window for a little more natural sunlight to replace the artificial light that's not currently working because of the power being out. You know, one of these days, if it's not like a martial law type situation or unrest, it's going to be thermonuclear war. I worry that knocks out the power grid or nuclear. With the way the U.S. is going, they're antagonizing the frick out of China, which could result in nuclear war someday. In Russia, it's like playing a very dangerous game just so the ruling class of this country can dominate the planet. And they don't have an ideology to make the world better other than rich people get richer. It'd be like the Morganites in this game, which should, by the way, be a terrible dystopian faction to have win. Way worse than, say, the Peacekeepers here, or the Free Drones, which I'm more and more certain that I'll probably install a Thinker mod and do a run as that later after this one. If there isn't a way to make the original Ion Crossfire with the Yitsies, that was the patch, work again, then I'll do Thinker mod, which makes the eye better too. Yitsies actually makes the eye a little better. It has some minor tweaks, fixes for it, but I was used to playing Alien Crossfire with the Yitsies patch. So the AI should be not as good here as with that. I normally play it difficulty level down from this, though. But it was easy. I could probably do Thinker comfortably either way. Even now. Probably even on the Yitsies, but definitely here. But okay. I wanted to get more secret projects because they're fun videos. Maybe I'll show you guys, like, record literally some of the. There's movie files, so I could just play them off of the game files for the ones that I don't get. Could be interesting. If you guys want to see, there's references, uh, like with Guy Citizens Defense Force is narrated by Lady Deidre Sky. It's like an Our Secret War thing, if I remember correctly. One of the Our Secret War passages, you'll recognize these when you see those quotes. Many people think it's like, oh, the Gaians weaponizing mind worms, and I think they do that eventually, but originally they're attacked by them. And yes, the Citizens Defense Force does help against mind worms. I have to keep telling people this. It helps against mind worms because it acts like a disposable garrison unit once the garrison units have all been killed. If you have a base and it's got a scout patrol or a trance synth metal patrol division and it gets destroyed by mind worms, and then another mind worm comes, maybe the one that just destroyed the garrison in a battle, instead of just consuming a pop or destroying the base if it's size 1, it will consume the perimeter defense that you got for free with Citizens Defense Force. No further damage to the base. So, like, if you have a base that's in your interior, you don't worry about human factions, really, but it's near fungus. As the Gaians, you can just potentially leave it undefended in the Citizens Defense Force. In the rare case of Mindworm attacks the base, it'll just eat through that free perimeter defense, or maybe you give it one defense unit. It's rare that the unit will lose, but if it does, you have that backup. it lets you have a lighter defense force against mind worms. People, I there's this thing, Peon to Sid Meier's Alpha Centauri. I remember commenting this explained to the guy who made the thing. This because like it's interesting the Citizens Defense Force refers to mind worms because it has no utility against them. Like actually it does. It has huge strategic utility against mind worms. It'll help the Gaians a lot because if there's any bases that their garrisons get overwhelmed, which the AI is not great about sufficiently defending their bases, so that'll happen sometimes. Especially when the game year advances and the planet gets more aggressive. Probably more likely at higher difficulties where there's even more alien life, but it can happen in Perihelion, I'm sure. With the Citizens Defense Force, the Gaians won't lose pops they would have lost. So, since here it's harder to boom than in the expansion, those pops are harder to replace. That helps them a little. It's also valuable, of course, because it denies the perimeter defense to other factions. I could have used it against the Spartans, but probably would have used it to set up some bases here that just don't have any defense against mind worms. Because it's not that often they spawn. I'd lose the free perimeter defenses and then pull garrisons where that happened. Putting garrisons. The cost of maintaining a defensive force is greater than the risk average. Then once in a long time you lose a pop. The pop may cost more, obviously, than the garrison by quite a lot. But with the support costs of a scout patrol and extra, if you're already using up all your support, you could easily cost you 50 minerals to save 30 food or something. Maybe 60 for 40. It's not worth it on average. When you risk average it, like for each 60 minerals you sink into garrisons, you probably will actually save like 30 food because any individual base isn't going to attack that many times, and you're going to have to defend like 4 bases to save 1 pop over a certain time period. So yeah, it's not cost effective to defend a base if you have the Citizens Defense Force. You just leave the citizens to defend themselves against mind worms. At least somewhere out here, maybe, where there's no enemy faction risk. Alright, so I am talking, wasting time here. I only have so much charge. I'm trying to decide what to do with this recon rover. Let's see, I have a recon rover there. One here. What's this? This is former doing a farm solar panel. Woo. Okay. Farm solar collector there. I guess just a farm there. Solar collector's not really worth the farm returns if it only adds 1 energy. Righty then. Civil rights has got plenty to grow into. Monitoring agency. Just considering how important it is to defend the farmers versus worm hunting. Still a little worm hunting. Especially there, where I got nearby rovers to help. Forget if this recon rover, did it level up from fighting? Pretty sure this was one that went and fought there, so I think it did. Not positive. Let's go here. If a worm attacks it, that location, I'm going to go to the monolith next turn. It's likely one that would have attacked here and did collateral damage to the former. Alright. Intentionally trying to stimulate a worm. And moving into here, where the scout patrol can also help. 3 rovers and they all failed to move. Or stimulate a worm or anything. Oof. Probably should have stacked one here to minimize collateral damage. Oh well. My mistake. Probably won't pay for it. But isn't the smartest move. Aggressively hunting for worms out here. That might be crossing open terrain. They could come down the river there. But yeah, if I just support a ton of military units to do nothing, I mean, I'll eat up all my production. Won't be able to produce more anyways, and I don't know, the Spartans probably won't attack me instantly. But I really need.
Turn complete.
I need energy. I need to train up as many rovers as I can to hardened veteran. So they can fight the Spartans on more even footing. It's a lot better with a little light. See. I can see. I can fight. If any of you have ever seen The Fairly Odd Parents, it's a cartoon. There's this nerdy King Arthur. That's the only way I can describe it. It's like a retelling of the King Arthur story, except King Arthur's like a nerd. Little Timmy helps him become a hero, and it turns out King Arthur can't swing a sword for a heck because he can't see anything. He doesn't have glasses. Of course, glasses exist in the Middle Ages, so that's kind of ridiculous. Although it was a highly skilled profession, like a pair of eyeglasses would have cost like as much as a car does today in relative terms. But they existed. You could get eyeglasses if you needed them, and someone could figure out approximately, because they didn't have eye exams down to the level they do now either, obviously. But yeah, he gets the like young King Arthur a pair of eyeglasses, and then he goes from like this wimpy kid to suddenly he's like super buff. I can see, he says in a high pitched voice, and his voice suddenly goes very deep, and huge muscles bulge out. I can fight, and then he goes and he slays a dragon. It's
Request confirmation.
Ridiculous cartoon, but it's kind of funny. If I hurry this former World Food Program, there'll be an opportunity cost of not putting the. Well, I'm comparing it to 18 and
Request
saying
confirmation.
I would get essentially 2 less minerals than if I were to put this into a building. Like the command center. I think I can partial hurry. That's the most I can do. Because this I need to have by a specific turn. 1, 2, 3. I need to hurry. Turn 4. It's got 6, 15, 25. And I actually can skip 3. Do a partial hurry if I really want. It's 22, so I need 44 in 3 turns. And I have 15. I'm fine. If I have to, I'll just do a partial hurry there.
Request confirmation.
It doesn't make sense to do a partial hurry here. Like if I spent 20 energy credits, it would just be one less mineral. The last one's the cheapest. Alright, I'll do that. Give me some additional former turns. 4 more former turns for 4 extra energy. Which is, I think, a worthwhile trade-off. Alright. I have 1 energy credit. Fire the finance minister. Not really, there's nothing. This is actually good finances where you have just enough money to cover things and don't have money sitting wastefully in a bank account doing nothing. Make your money make money. Of course, if I need emergency reserves for some reason. The only reason I really need that is to rush military units. And my military is going to be my standing army is big enough as is. Wait. Oh, stagnant growth, yeah. Until a successful level. Battery's running low. I was doing fine for energy. Okay. Is it because I did a save operation? Yeah, that hurt it. All right, well, this will have to be it then. I wish you folks the best. Take care of each other. Be kind yourselves. May you always find a guiding star. Till we do. Until next time, it's Northstar. Adieu.